Imagine a world where you spend a ton of cash on marketing and you get a ton of people to your website. And these people are browsing around, they're all looking to find that perfect product, and they do find it. They find the perfect product. It has the perfect color, it has the perfect shape, it's there for the taking. And they add the product to the cart, they go through the cart, they go through the checkout, they scroll their mouse all ready to go to the purchase button, and nothing happens. Let's talk about e-commerce. As you might have guessed, today we are going to talk about cart abandonment. There are a lot of studies which try to define how many of the users are actually getting lost throughout the process. The best one I found is by a company called Baymard, one of my favorite sources, which actually combined 41 different studies and combined them all into an average. And this average comes up to around 70%. So you can say that you are losing 70% of the people who actually added something to the cart and then never bought them. Why is this happening? There are a few reasons. I'm going to go through every one of them individually. Before we go on, we need to clarify one thing. There is no clear methodology that will allow you to define what exactly is cart abandonment. Some companies will treat it from the moment that the users add the product to the cart. Others will count it from the moment you actually enter the cart, and others may even count it from the moment you actually go to the checkout, so the last stage of the process. Regardless of the methodology, you can still expect it to be a whole large chunk of the sales which you could potentially be getting. Okay, so what is the main reason for cart abandonment? By far, the most common reason is not showing the cost of the delivery process. This usually comes down to a user who goes into the checkout page or the cart page and then sees some additional cost which he didn't expect before. If you are buying a product for $10 and then you also see additional $6 for delivery, the total comes up to $16. You did not expect that. This is why you often see the stores with the free delivery option. There are other ways around it. You could show the delivery cost up front on the product page. If you have multiple different options, you can actually show them, or you can show the cheapest one available to the user. Another common reason for cart abandonment is forcing the user to create an account. I've actually personally have abandoned carts before because of that very reason. You are going to the cart, then you expect to see a guest checkout option. If you don't see it, you often resign from the purchase. This is because of three reasons. The first one is you are actually stopping the process. The user is in the flow, he's purchasing the products, he's going through step 1, through step 2, through step 3, he expects all the steps. And now at some stage, you are making him have to stop and think. He has to think of, okay, why is my data needed here? How do I go to the guest checkout option? Do I actually need to leave my data here? Will my data be secure? And so on and so forth. In Steve Krug's words, don't make me think. The second reason is that you are giving your customers hoops to jump through. Imagine in the real world that you would go to a store and then the cashier, when you're trying to pay for a product, would say, oh no, sorry, you need to fill out this form because we are forcing every one of our customers to fill out this loyalty program form. And then you're stuck there with a pen that's hardly working and you are starting to write and you are thinking of, okay, there's 5 people there, they're waiting for me, everybody is standing behind me, they're starting to talk very loudly. Okay, I'm writing it. Was my email written down clearly enough so that they will be able to put it in the computer where it should have been in the first place? Why are you making me do this? I do not expect this, I do not want this, I want to buy the product and go on with my life. Don't make me do that. The third reason is actually the disappointment in having to leave the data. Why do I have to leave my data, my personal information in your store? I don't trust you, I don't know you. I don't want to do that. So if you are a guest, you kind of have this underlying assumption that your email and your address will only be used for that order and that will actually be stored for a limited amount of time and then it will get erased at some point. If you create an account, you can be certain that it will stay there forever. And I've personally left my information in way too many places. I don't need a fashion store or a furniture store to have my information in their servers. Don't ask me to sign if I don't want to. Now, there are ways around that. If you want your customers to sign up in large numbers and you need people to register to your website, then you can have them sign up, for example, at the success stage where they've already purchased, they are happy with their purchase, and they are more willing to do that. And it's quite easy because you have all of the information filled out previously, and all you need to do is to click a box and add a password. That's all. And there's a very good chance that they will actually do it because it's not a hassle for them. But you are not forcing them to do that before. The third most common reason is the complexity of the checkout. Now, contrary to popular belief, it is not a matter of how many steps you have to take in order to fill it out, but actually how easy it is to comprehend what you need to do in those steps. Now, there are a lot of people who are trying to do it in the one-step checkout process, and this works for some stores, but if you have a lot of information, if you have a lot of fields, if you have a lot of different sections, this might not be the best option for you. It might be easier for the user to comprehend what they need to do in 3 different stages than in one stage when you've combined all of the information. Okay, so how do you check if it's too complex for the user? You can go to the checkout and look for certain elements. You need to check if the buttons are, for example, above the page fold. You need to check if they don't look inactive. You need to check if they are clearly named, and you need to make sure that there are no fields that might not be irrelevant to the whole situation. Things like facts or having to choose Mr. or Mrs. It doesn't really matter for the ordering process, and you are making your customers select that for no reason at all. Another reason why customers abandon their carts is the general lack of trust. This is a very broad subject, but it mostly comes down to visuals. The way how your store looks actually affects will the users trust you. If it looks like it's old, if it looks like it's not been updated in multiple years, if it breaks down every 2 steps and you cannot trust it to keep your information secure, you will not want to leave that information there. I've actually abandoned carts before because of that very reason. If a website looks shady to me, I will not leave my information there. And that actually is a very important reason why you might be losing customers in your store. Now, there are other things apart from the visual side which can affect the trustworthiness factor. You can add things like customer referrals, customer reviews. You can add social proof, or you can have statements like 99% customer satisfaction rates. These are all of the things that actually make the site trustworthy, and they will make the decision to leave the data more easy for the customer if they see those signs of trustworthiness. There are, of course, other reasons which you might find which actually make people abandon their carts. You may not find your perfect favorite payment option. If you are a fan of PayPal and you cannot find it, maybe you will drop out of the process. I've actually done it before. You might want to have a certain delivery method which is not available in such, so on and so forth. You will not make everybody happy, but what you can do is to take the most common elements and make sure that your store is not losing because of them. Examine your process, what your customers are doing, where they are getting lost. Are they finding anything difficult in the process? You can use tools like Hotjar, you can use Google Analytics to check this, and make sure to write it below in the comments what you found out. There might be some things that surprise you. Now, one quick tip at the end. Another element which will affect your trustworthiness, and something that's quite easy to do, is to add an email address, a phone number, and a physical location of your store. If people see this and they see it in a main part of the website, they will know that it's a true business and they can leave your data there. You know that there is somebody responsible for your data. They know that there is somebody responsible for handling your orders, and they know if something goes wrong, they can actually go back to you and find different ways of contacting you. Thank you for watching this video, and make sure that you comment, make sure that you like, make sure that you subscribe to the channel. I'm really hoping to get some comments from you guys, what I can improve in the future. As you see, I'm trying out different things. Make sure to leave a comment, what's working, what's not working. I'll be trying to improve it to give you the best experience possible. Thank you, and see you soon.